What's up, YouTube? I'm Ace Palomero, South Texas Realtor, proud son of the Rio Grande Valley, and someone who has way too many cups and mugs. Today's video is about the standoff between Texas and the federal government along the southern border, and how it's going to potentially affect those of us who actually do live on the border. So let's get this video rolling. If you have been paying any attention at all, then you know that we have a massive border crisis on our southern border here in the US. In 2023, we had about 2.5 million illegal crossings, and I believe that's the most amount we've ever had. Yeah, we have an open border, and not just a porous border, but yeah, it's wide open. And if you have even an elementary understanding of macroeconomics, then you should be able to see why that is a problem. So, in case you're not fully up to date, here's a quick review of the timeline, according to CNN anyway, so take it with a grain of salt. So, Wednesday, January 10, the Texas National Guard blocked Border Patrol from placing mobile surveillance equipment inside Shelby Park. They also started erecting razor wire, fencing, and gates to shut off access to the park. On Friday, January 12, the Mexico's National Institute of Migration learned about the drowning deaths of 2 children and a woman. On Saturday, January 13, the Mexico's National Institute of Migration told the Border Patrol's Del Rio sector about the drownings and about 2 groups of migrants who had tried to cross. Same day, Texas allowed Border Patrol access to the boat ramp in the Shelby Park area, but with restrictions. Monday, January 15, a Border Patrol agent drove through an access road, but the agent was stopped and questioned by a Texas National Guard member. Same day, the Biden administration submitted a filing to Supreme Court, which included the details of the migrant drownings on January 12. Wednesday, January 17, this was a deadline for Texas authorities to end its blockade of Eagle Pass and allow the feds to resume its operations. And obviously, the deadline passed, and blockade still continues. Monday, January 2022, the Supreme Court voted to allow Border Patrol agents to remove razor wire that was set up by Texas authorities. Tuesday, January 23. Basically, Department of Homeland Security is reasserting their right to open the park to Border Patrol agents, and they're demanding for the Texas state authorities to end the blockade. Wednesday, January 24. So the CNN team in Eagle Pass witnessed the Texas National Guard continuing to erect fencing or anti-climbing fencing and razor wire in Shelby Park. And the governor issued a statement accusing Biden of failing to fulfill his constitutional duty to protect the nation's borders. Abbott got spicy here, so let me read that so you can hear it, it's verbatim. By wasting taxpayer dollars to tear open Texas's border security infrastructure, President Biden has enticed illegal immigrants away from the 28 legal entry points along the state's southern border, bridges where nobody drowns, and into the dangerous waters of the Rio Grande. Okay, Friday, January 26th. So the second deadline for Texas to end its blockade passed. And then Monday, January 29, over 2 dozen attorney generals signed a letter of support for the state of Texas. And then these attorney generals are from the states of Iowa, Utah, Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wyoming. It should go without saying that the drownings and deaths of this mother and her children is both sad and unfortunate, but they also would have never been there and attempted that crossing if they and so many others weren't essentially invited to attempt that crossing. Yeah, this is, at least for my opinion, this is both a failing, like this is a result, like their deaths is because of a failing of a policy, and also because we have corrupt and weak people in positions of power and authority. Now, this standoff at the border has reignited sentiments about Texas seceding from the Union, which I think is dumb. Texas is a part of the U.S. The U.S. needs Texas just as much as Texas needs the U.S. Like, take a look at this. This is from the Texas Comptroller website, and it's from 2016, but just listen. So, Texans sent the federal government $261 billion in taxes in 2016, and the state government received $39.5 billion in grants in return. Texas is also the second biggest economy in the U.S. So this is from 2022, and this is from Visual Capitalist. So in 2022, according to this site anyway, the U.S. had a $20 trillion economy, right? $20 trillion GDP, or gross domestic product. And the second largest one was Texas, 1.9 trillion. California was number one, 2.9 trillion. Yeah, so the Texas economy is comparable to countries like Russia or South Korea. There's also a protest convoy heading to the border to protest the border crisis. And according to their website, they are calling on veterans, mama bears, elected officials, business owners, ranchers, truckers, bikers, media, and law-abiding, freedom-loving Americans to join them. The convoy started out in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and they went to Jacksonville, Florida, Tuesday, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Wednesday. Tomorrow, I guess if I post tomorrow, they'll be in Dripping Springs, and on Friday they're going to be in Camado, Texas. Now, according to the more left-leaning publication, supposedly this convoy also calls themselves the Army of God and We the People, but take that as you will. And just like the I guess supposed journalist of these publications, I am also wondering how much of all this is a false flag or a psyops. And hopefully, like most people, like most Americans and most residents of this state, I hope like all of this stays peaceful. Yeah, because if you include the standoff at the border with the Texas National Guard and CBP, like you have two armed groups, and yeah, hopefully it does not get violent. So how is this going to affect those of us who live along the border? Now I'm hoping that everything stays peaceful and things don't escalate into violence and into open conflict. If things stay peaceful, I think like the economy and as well as the real estate market will likely keep this plateau. I don't think we're necessarily going to see any big drops or big changes until after the election. But if things do escalate and there is armed conflict, that's just going to be bad for everybody. And not to be callous, but that will likely drop real estate prices and real estate values. And like, you really don't need to like look up any hard data to come up with that kind of conclusion. Because just think about it. Like, why would anyone want to move somewhere where there's armed conflict happening? That's just dumb. Tim Pool, this independent journalist whose podcast I follow, he was comparing the current standoff between Texas National Guard and the CBP to Fort Sumter, like right before the start of the Civil War. And yeah, hopefully things don't escalate to that level. To sum it up, we have a border crisis. I'm definitely questioning the timing of some of the actions taken by our elected officials here in Texas. What's going on could definitely impact the state and local economy, especially real estate. And yeah, hopefully none of this gets crazy. 2024, it's an election year. Our governor's not up for re-election until 2026, but many other state officials and local officials are. So make sure you vote, and make sure that you actually read up on these candidates and their policies and what they stand for, their character as well. Don't just blindly vote Democrat or blindly vote Republican. Like, read up on your candidates and vote in the primaries too. Don't just wait till the general election. Other than that, I hope something in this video was informative. Bye.